Yep.
So are we ready? Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order, roll call. Peter?
Here.
And George has sent regrets, Christopher has sent regrets. Matthew?
I'm here.
And Joe? Here. I'm here. And then Taylor Robinson, Executive Assistant. CAO Tyler Pulley. And Coralie Ross, Director of Financial Services. Shocked I got it right. I'd like us all to pause to seek guidance. And Deputy Warden Ross will be reading the mission statement.
To provide, promote, or facilitate municipal services that meet the community needs while preserving, supporting, and enhancing quality of life for all.
Thank you. The next is the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions anyone wants on the agenda?
Yeah, we do have one addition. It's on your desk. It would be 5.1C, Emergency Services Response.
Anything else?
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Disclosure of conflict of interest issues.
Yes, I've got 4.2 business items.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yep.
And I hope I don't see any for me. So, thank you, Deputy Warden. There are no delegations or presentations this evening. So the next is the minutes of May 19th. Did anyone see any errors or omissions in those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes of May 19th, 2026.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is the CAO report. Just want to remind you, which this is rough personally, June 30th, no meeting. July 7th, no meeting. And July 14th, no meeting. July 21st at 5 will be an audit committee, and I will be coming in on Zoom. July the 28th, I'll see, but I imagine it's going to be so. There's no meeting on August the 12th. August the 11th is committee of the whole. Nothing on the 18th or the 25th of August. And September, we have a Nova Scotia Public Works at 5, and at 6, the bylaw and policy. Does anyone have any problems with any of those dates? Okay. Update on capital projects. Does anyone have any questions for the CAO? Really well kept up. The next are the financial reports for April and May 2026. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? But I have approval of the CAO report.
Motion to approve the CAO reports.
Seconder?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is our standing committees, bylaw and policy recommendations. The enforcement policy, FIN 2500-15.
I move the council approve the enforcement policy number FIN-2500-15 as presented.
Is there any? Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. The next is the changes in the expense reimbursement policy.
I'll move the council increase the breakfast and lunch amounts to $30 each, dinner to $50, and incidentals to $15 in the expense reimbursement policy number FIN-2500-11.
And is there a seconder?
Sorry.
Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Remember Them project, Remember Them project funding request.
I move the council purchase up to 4 pictures in support of the Remember Them project.
Is there a seconder? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next is the DRHS, which is the Digby Regional High School Youth Grant Request.
I move the council provide $500 to Digby Regional High School for grade 11 and 12 students Europe trip.
Is there a seconder? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next is invitation to partner on the Waves for Waves of Action Autism Nova Scotia Walk.
I move the council provide $100 for the Waves for Waves of Action Autism Nova Scotia Walk on September 26th, 2026 at Savory Park.
Is there a seconder?
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Because these were recommendations from the bylaw and policy, they had been discussed, but sometimes we do further discussion. The next is committee of the whole recommendations. Capital project, budget. Capital budget.
I move the council approve the capital budget years 1 to 5 as presented.
Seconder?
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The ICS, which is the Islands Consolidated, so I wanted to say Freeport, it didn't make sense there. Volleyball community grant request.
I move the council write a letter of support on behalf of the Islands Consolidated School to update and replace aging volleyball equipment.
Is there a seconder?
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next is the Westport Theater Troupe Community Grant Request.
I move the council provide $1,000 to the Westport Theater Troupe.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
The Digby Clare Home Agency Support request for letter of support.
I move the council provide a letter of support for the Digby Clare Home Support Agency.
Is there a seconder? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sure.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Support for facilities on Briar Island.
I move the council send a letter to John Mashoverich, manager of Marine Services, regarding the Village of Westport's concerns related to portable washroom facilities, signage, and conditions of the ferry slip area.
Is there a seconder?
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next, the Weymouth Falls, Southville, Danvers, has it parent support group.
I move the council agree to the previously approved $500 allocation for the Weymouth Falls, Southville, Danvers Asset Parent Support Group project be redirected to support the organization's Kwanzaa event, and that a letter be sent advising the group of this decision.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Under business items, the first one is Savory Park.
I put that on the agenda. I had a constituent come to me and ask me about Savory Park. They wanted to know if we could work with the province or in conjunction with the province to light up the park in the winter months. A lot of people use it. They park outside the gate and they walk, and they like to use it as walking tracks in the winter, but they like to have it lit up. And I don't know how we would go about that. It did say it is a provincial matter. It's provincial. Provincial park. However, you know,
But the other thing is they officially close it.
And that's the thing.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying we can't write him a letter and ask, but if we try to go ahead and do that, especially without permission, we're going to become liable for a provincial entity.
I've spoken to the deputy warden about this. I'm a big supporter of Savory Park. I use it probably twice a week every summer. But to your point, I thought, they're not going to want to encourage people to be there after hours when it's closed or in the winter when it's closed. So I think it's enough of a battle. But if I would recommend, whether it's a letter or a conversation, maybe Joe Balster is can you
Mhm.
reach out to
Yeah.
us?
Well, I just write a letter to open the conversation up. There are other parks around the province that are open in the night and they are lit. I don't know if Sabre Park would be one of those ones they look at, but it does get used quite a bit. Doesn't mean it can't be open. It's just a conversation we can have.
But that's why the gate's shut.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. I totally do. It's just,
Yeah.
I got it on here so we can
Yeah.
write the
Oh,
letter
I
to
think,
Jill.
yeah, I agree. I think we should write a letter.
Open that door.
But I'm
See,
also saying,
Yeah.
what they're gonna, they may, no, I
Hmm.
don't know. I am assuming they may say,
Yeah.
we close it because it's not plowed.
yeah. And that's where I'm going with it. If we could get those talks started, maybe it's a collaboration with the municipality, and maybe get it plowed. Who knows, right? We'll just,
Do they have any signs up sort of saying, enter at your own risk?
No, they have closed.
yeah, they don't want people in there at the same time. It
And,
hasn't been pushed, and people do
Yeah.
when they walk. So,
yeah, nobody says anything.
Yeah.
Because. But yeah, I agree. Do you wanna make a motion that we send a letter asking?
Yeah, I'll make-
And that, that we speak to, Joe Balzer as well?
I would say send a letter to Joe also.
Okay.
She encouraged us in the past to check with her on these sort of items first. and see what
Okay.
goes.
Do you need a motion for that, or just direction?
No, I
I
say a
need
motion.
It's a letter.
I'll make the motion. We send a letter to Minister Joe Balzer about the lighting of the Sabre Park.
Is there a seconder? Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded?
Great.
Motion carried. The next is the Digby East Fish and Game Letter of Support. And, can you read that?
Yeah, they're looking, we had provided them with a letter for accessibility for this year, so they're looking for another letter of support, for the installation of metal roofing. So essentially they're looking for just a similar letter as we already provided, but for a different purpose.
And the other thing, apparently, from what I've listened to the insurance company, if you have a metal roof, it lowers your insurance. Because it's less likely to catch fire. So I personally think it's a great idea. What do the others feel? Peter?
No, I have no opposition to that.
It's interesting because that was an issue, I think, with the church building in town, wasn't it, when it caught, was the metal roof. They put it on thinking it was a good thing. And at the time when the fire happened, it was a bad thing because they couldn't access the fire through the metal roof.
I just know that the insurance asks us, do you have a metal roof, do you have a wood roof?
No, but I mean,
And the metal roof made it cheaper, my insurance cheaper,
makes it cheaper.
because of, well, I guess they're looking at sparks coming on top, less likely to catch. But, yeah, the hoses and fire underneath, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's true when you want to open up a alternate way, it's harder, but they're made to be cut. But you can cut anyways.
I know, I just remember that was the issue at the time, was the metal roof.
Yeah, once you say that, yeah, I agree. Okay, so are we in agreement that we will send a letter of support?
Yeah, they're not asking us to do it, they're just asking us to.
So,
Yeah, just support.
so can we have a motion?
I'll move that we send a letter of support on behalf of municipality supporting the installation of metal roofing. Whatever, what's the name of their building?
The thought of-
Digby Fish and Game
Yeah.
Hall, anyway, whatever.
All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded, motion carried. So do you wanna tell them that they can come back in, or should we just leave them?
No, much left first. So George isn't here, we might want to come on from the side. I'm gonna give you the rest of the night off.
Now, the next is the, Weymouth Sidewalk Project Funding.
Okay, so on this one, you might recall that, the Village of Weymouth had a quote for about $1.5 million to complete their sidewalk. And we approved $300,000 on the understanding that they would come up with the other $438,000 to be able to get the full 50/50 match. They recently got a new quote from Dexter's, which I am totally shocked by this, genuinely shocked. It came in at much less, 783,000. So essentially what we've had to do is confirm whether or not we want to stick with the original 300 contribution, or if our opinion changes given the fact that the total cost has decreased.
I would
So it's
think
really
we
up to
would
council.
decrease it,
We budgeted the 300.
yeah, but
So how much did they give them the province again?
The province was 700 and I don't have the exact number, it was 738, 748, something.
And
Really?
They had to add-
and it was 1 million something, right?
So they get 700,000 from the province, and the whole project now is only 70.
But it's a 50-50 match. So for instance, if the whole project costs 783, the province is only gonna pay half that. They gotta come up with the other half, which are 300, we're almost cover all of that.
Yeah, but I disagree with that. I think it should be lower. It's dropped, what, 300,000?
It's dropped to about 50%. It was like a $1.5 million.
Well, I have no problem going up to 2, but I would not give them 300. I mean, that's not fair to anyone or anything.
They're not gonna put their area rate up?
They had meetings about it, and my understanding is they had a lot of opposition to that. So I think it was probably going to be a viewer. I don't think that any intention of doing that. So they're very fortunate to have this quote that is much less money.
Yeah.
Although it's quite surprising.
So they have a quote of 750.
783.
From
83,
what-
okay.
from what-
Plus tax.
Yeah, plus tax.
So I would personally, I feel
And they're gonna
Either
get 350
between
from the province.
150,000 to 200, so what I would be supporting, but no more.
The province will pay half of that, of the bill if they're right.
Yeah, whatever,
And then the other.
They
half
have to
has
come up with
has to
some
come from
too.
Other sources. So they will have a, so with the tax, I'm just trying to gauge what they need.
well, all right, what is their,
So 780 plus 14%.
I don't know if they follow us or not. We get back 0.7133.
no, I meant, what do they,
Oh, what's their actual tax rate?
to their
For
employees,
village?
to their village,
Their village is 29.
29 cents.
They earn. No, sorry. Weymouth is 34.
34
They've been
cents.
climbing a penny a year for a while.
Just to add more context, so if the project is 783,000,
About a
then
million.
the province will pay half of that. The province will pay 391.
Yes,
That means they need to come up with the other 391. So if they use our 300, that leaves about 91,000 for them. It's my opinion that even that amount is I don't think they have 91. That'll be a conversation for them.
yeah,
But who's
Even getting them that close.
Who's opposing it? They're a village. How many's on the village?
I don't think they had a lot of turnout. My understanding is like very few
But
people.
are they like the fire departments? They have to have a vote to do their village?
no, I don't think so.
Because we
It's
want to,
it's like us.
yeah,
We don't have a vote. You make a decision based
Yeah.
on your cost.
that's what I mean. So we don't
Other-
go to the public when we
No.
have a bad budget.
They,
We
cho-
have to-
they chose.
I know,
chose
but,
that.
I mean,
But
that's kind
that's
of what
still-
you're supposed to be as a village. You don't
I
want to be
did,
a village.
I'm just saying, if we look at the other villages, they pay a lot
We
more.
got 45 in Freeport, 50 in Westport, and 70 in
Yeah.
Which was our original point. Like if we pay 300 and there's 400 left, raise your rate, come up with that. Now obviously it's a lesser problem.
But they can raise the rate.
They
Yes, they
definitely
can.
They can.
Yeah, that's
It's
fair.
whether they will.
I'm still against anything over 200,000 with that kind of
Yeah, I
drop.
think we should change our portion proportionally to the change in the expected cost.
If
That's
that's
what I
your,
would
if
say.
that's your thinking, it's about 50%, I would say, ish.
Yeah,
So 150,000.
150.
I'd make a motion that we give them $150,000 pertaining that the project goes through.
Yeah.
And if they decide they're not gonna raise the rate,
I mean, I would have gone a little higher, but
well,
I
I'd
understand.
do 150. I mean, Freeport, Westport, Tiverton, they're rebuilding their sidewalks or anything. They don't pay for that, so I don't think. They'll be able to have-
no.
I would say we go with the 150 and then they have their conversation. If, and then we can review if we have to add a little bit more to make it happen. But I think by principle, I would go with like proportionality, right? If the cost is half, then we half the contribution. Everybody's winning already, right?
The motion's been made, we need a seconder to keep discussing.
Second.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from, totally. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. And now it's a write-off request for AAN 071-00590. And that has been a fire, wasn't a fire?
This is a mobile home that ended up getting, I think, dismantled and taken away.
Okay,
But they never advised anybody. So Nicole went back to the assessment office and she got them to take it off the roll, and had a building inspector go and make sure that it wasn't there. But because it doesn't exist, there's no lien that we can put on it at this stage. So that's why she's asking.
how do you feel? I think we should, but again, I'm not know.
Well, what happened here?
It was dismantled and there's nothing there. You can't tax on something that's not there.
Oh, this has been an ongoing tax bill we've had for how long?
She found it during the 2025 tax sale process, so it would have been 2 years in arrears at that point. And they came back and said this mobile home has been gone. It was taken away for scrap. Typically, what happens with a mobile home is they do assess it with the property, but you can put it on somebody else's property. So in that case, you only have taxes associated with the mobile home. You can't put a lien on anything. So because it's not there, it doesn't exist. She's looking at it.
But do they still own the property?
They never did own the property.
Can't say.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not really relevant to be fair.
I personally agree that it's not there, that we write it off.
Just don't have that. Yeah.
Things happen all the time. Because it doesn't exist, so it doesn't exist, you can't put taxes.
Yeah.
So it's the only way we can do it is to accept the write-off request for AAN 071-00590.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Recommendation.
or a recommendation to accept the write-off of number 071-00590.
Is there a seconder?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next was correspondence. First one was the June events at the Admiral Digby Museum. The next one was a response from Minister Tim Hellman of the Ligation Valley Trail. And then the last one is about the provincial ferries.
This is like the fastest we've ever got. We made this motion 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know.
We already have a response.
I'm making it, and I'm like, good response. Yeah.
It doesn't sound to me like they want to be in the washer business, but I think you can interpret that.
I get a sense it's a been there, tried that, don't want to go there again.
Yeah, they talk about vandalism
Yeah.
in the past, in terms of having portable washrooms there.
Well, they did have, that's why I was surprised. I don't know.
This
And
might
we
be
can
something
do
they
is,
send to villages to let them know
yeah,
that's how
that's all
Providence
we can
feels, and if they want to take it on, they can, or like again, a village rate or something to help maintain or look after it. I don't know what the answer would be, but
well, the
Peter can
answer
figure
is
that out with the money. It's obviously they had them before and they got vandalized, and that's why they're not there anymore. So it's kind of a
So do we want to send this response to the village? Of Westport with their.
Yeah. So when I read this letter here, to me that's a non-answer. I mean, yeah. So we're gonna. Yeah, what it says. So he's saying, I'm going to paint the new lines in the same place where they're at. But I'm not going to change the way organization is currently done on the site. That doesn't solve the problem, right? The lines are there, you can see the lines. The problem is that the way it's organized now leads to confusion and people jamming the road there and not knowing which line goes first. You know, it's so that's one. The second one is the washroom facilities were vandalized. Yeah, so what, man? Like, then they figure it out, right? I think the problem still exists. So you're not going to put any washrooms there. What about the washrooms that we have there are in the wharf at the arrival of Tiverton? There are washrooms there. I don't think they're being vandalized.
Yeah, but sometimes it's the area they're in. If they've been vandalized, I mean, they must know they've been vandalized.
Yeah, I have trouble seeing local people doing this to the infrastructure there. I think there might be different ways we can address this, but we have to think a little further instead of just saying, we're just not going to do it. I don't know, signage, different types of washroom. I don't know, but it seems to me an answer that like the guy didn't really think much about it. Just when you get an email, you don't want to think about it, just reply something and send it back. I don't think it's a well thought through answer. I was expecting a bit more from that. Glad that he's offering to repaint the roadway lines, but that's not really answering the problem.
I think the issue down there is you need somebody to champion those washrooms down there. The villages are going to have to take control, and what's it going to cost? And you need to build a project of it. This is something that the town of Digby could do down on the boardwalk or down by.
They have a very good washroom.
The visitor information system. They have a nice facility there. Now you're right. Have they been vandalized? Sure, I think they kicked windows of it 3 times now. But that's something you got to have a conversation with the village and say, here's what they built in Digby. Here's the cost of it. A window to replace it is $1,500. So if you lose 3 windows in the month of June, this is what it's going to cost you. I'm not saying if they came to that project with us that we couldn't help them with that, but there's got to be some onus on them to go change the toilet paper, to clean it. People, they don't.
And I will tell you, the town pays to have that cleaned every night.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Apparently, supposedly during festivals, they have another person come in halfway through.
So that's staff, that's money. I mean, if the villages want to do that, I have no problem with that. They've got to come up. They've got to understand what that's going to cost them. And they want to put that on their area rate, that's great. It's whatever they want to do. It's just the province isn't going to do it. They did it. They got destroyed. They're not coming back to it.
And they have to hear too.
And you may get a grant through them, but they're not going to look after this washroom.
Yeah, but you got to make sure that they're allowed to do that on those areas.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
Again, the province can still may say that's our property. No.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we don't want it there.
Yeah.
So it's not just, that's why I really think we need to send them back the letter. And we can also add that, that if there was something we could do.
Well, we could do that, say, there's a collaboration between the municipality and the villages. First and foremost, could we put a washroom there? If they say no, then it's dead in the water. It's in our discussion.
I think we could perhaps send this to the village and say, so this is the answer of the provincial side of it. That vandalism is serious, right? It's a real problem. What can we do to mitigate that? And that should be on the village, right? The village should do something. What are you proposing to avoid this, to prevent this? Installing cameras, installing some signage, doing some local education. Who knows who does that? If it's local people, if it's tourists, right? But some kind of risk sharing agreement there that would make this more.
And the other thing they're going to have to get permission to be able to be allowed to put.
So my memory serves me right. The last Councilor fought hard for those washrooms. I think he did not very well. That's why
Yeah,
that's why you're seeing this kind of letter come back. He fought when I first got here in 2016. I think he got him in 2020 or something like that. They finally put him in for him, and I don't think they'll last the summer. And that's a shame, but it's a shame. That's why you're getting that letter back.
I mean, they kept trying. They did it for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But then the vandalism was so bad.
Yeah, no, I wonder what I would be interested in hearing from John. What's the situation of the ones in Tiverton, because the context is not that different, right? Just similar war.
Different place, different island, part of the island.
Yeah, still.
Well, I mean, things can happen in Culloden that wouldn't happen
in Landis Road. It's true.
We're all professionals on Landis Road.
Very good work on Landis Road.
Yeah, Tyler's in there every night. No.
He's checking it twice.
So is there staff direction here? Are we
The
reaching out?
staff direction, I would think, would be, we're gonna send a copy of this letter, and then we will also put down that if, that we'd be willing to listen. I don't know how you put it, but they need permission from the province if they wanna go ahead. That has to be their project, not our project.
This is us telling you.
Yeah. So
It's suggestion.
Yeah,
I don't.
I may try to kind of
I
synthesize
mean,
this.
like, this is the only thing we can think of right now, and perhaps we would be able to collaborate in the future with this.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I'm not saying we're not, and I'm not saying we are.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because it could be dead in the water. I mean, if the province says no, it's dead.
You can't do anything at all.
Yeah, so the idea would be to tell them, hey, come up with a project that will mitigate this concern here, which is what the province shared. If you come up with something, we might be willing to help you get this through. You have to propose something that will work for the province too, right? Because it's their property. You have to address the risk. You have to have a plan for the cost. We might be able to help a little bit.
Make sure they have the use of the land.
Make sure they have.
I think we can find that out first, and that's something we can bring out at our next public works meeting. Or you can.
Yeah, kind of
Probably
because
I
they
can
don't
think
talk
we
with
let
for
the
each
village
service.
do
Yeah.
that. It's not us, that's the village.
Yeah,
So are you making that a motion? We send a letter to go with the
Do we need a
letter?
motion
No, I
for
think
this?
it's just.
Oh, we just, okay, great.
Then there's the other side of this. So one side is the washrooms. The other side is the painting on the lanes on that side. I don't think John's answer is satisfactory. I think what we would like is a review of but there's the scheme in which they organize traffic there in a way that would reduce confusion.
Even better signage there would make a
Yeah.
difference.
And there's that side too, which he doesn't mention here, which is the signage that is falling apart. That I think did we mention that in the letter? Yes, we did.
You mentioned every.
Yes.
Yeah, the letter had
You
three
mentioned
parts,
every
right?
issue.
Yeah. So I think there's that to address too. Yeah, I know if you want, Tyler, I can send you and Chris a little sketch that I did on like feedback that I collected from people. What I understood should be the ideal way to organize this. We can run this through John, see if he thinks it makes sense. It's just that currently you have lanes, people park. Imagine you have the wharf here, the entrance to the ferry here, and you have 3 lanes like that. This lane rides first.
But people don't always know that, and they jump.
People don't know
in.
that, yeah. So we have multiple people jumping at the same time. It's very confusing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've had to slam on my brakes as I'm in the first lane,
Yeah,
and
happens to be.
guy from 2 or 3 is suddenly going boom, like, yeah. And they're usually from away.
Yeah,
It's
because
not the local.
but that's the thing. It's because it's not intuitive. I don't blame them because they get there, they do what they think is the logical thing to do, but the system is not logical. So
Even just a sign saying lanes load left or right.
Yeah,
You know,
something like that. They are numbered. It's just that they are numbered wrong. They should be numbered.
Well,
the other
once
way around.
the first car kind of parks, you can't see numbers anyway, but
Yeah, true. Yeah, fair enough.
We can't see after number one, yeah.
So Councillor Shear is gonna send me that information and staff are gonna engage with this John from Marine Services. I think that's pretty much the.
Yes,
Yeah,
if
okay.
that's okay. All right, so next is our council district reports. Peter,
All right. So this month there was, I think it started after the last report with the Incan Iron inauguration of their new HQ in the area here. Nice party, burgers, music. Very, very good spot that they built there. I just went there, spoke a few words about, the importance of.
I actually got a call. They were very impressed with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As there's,
So I don't know about that. No, seriously, sometimes when I've asked someone to go,
Mm.
and they let me know, they said they were really pleased, you did a great job, they appreciated you took the time, and you seemed interested.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
So-
no, I was. It is actually interesting, right? I think these biker events, they're controversial in the sense that some people like, some people don't. But they're interesting, right? They're characteristics of our area, and we have to appreciate that. They sort of give the unique flair of our area. It's kind of funny in the moment of cutting the ribbon there, the scissors didn't really cut, so I had to go. People feel that and kept sending me. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it was really good. Yeah, good crowd there. I think I wish them the best on developing this. Then there was also the peace run start at the Digby school. Very interesting initiative. I had never been in any of those. Was not aware that this existed. It's basically like a sports event to promote peace. It's not really a competition. Like to just get the kids to run. Very goodwill people volunteering from all over the world. Really interesting. Like there was a guy from a man from Australia, a lady from Switzerland, another from Mexico, all volunteers, right? They're not gathering here to organize this. So it's, and they travel all over the world doing this. So I got there, they asked me to say something about peace. I had to come out with a speech about peace, which was interesting too. Like, so I was told later that it was a nice, I don't remember what I said, but they just liked it.
I love it.
Because when you're in that situation, like, hey, make a speech about this, I said, what? And then you just let it flow. You don't really. In the end, you just it happened, but I don't know what I said. So it was good too. Then later on, there was the lobster dinner in Freeport. Also, chance to catch up with the community, talk about the issues currently. It was mostly good talk, no major problems, like roads, things like that we discussed today, but nothing new. There was also the Bog Trail Watchtower opening. So the Bog Trail exists. I think it's been a year now that it has been opening. They finished their watchtower there, which gives a panoramic view on all the bog and the surroundings. Really beautiful. That trail is quite unique. If you haven't been there, I totally recommend. It's unique for its format. It's all in a platform that goes through the bog, right? So you get to see from above that a biome that is hard to find in a pure state here. Most of these bogs are drained, and so there are unique flowers and birds, and all kinds of things that you can see there you don't see elsewhere. It's pretty unique. I think it's a major attraction there that we should be not only promoting more, but like experiencing more. Then next there was an workshop for the rules of order, promoted by the AMANs. Really good workshop. Learned interesting things. Realized that some of the things that we do here are not quite standard. Yes, it works for us, but it's kind of like going through what it should really be to say, well, is this really how it works, or is this, yeah, I think we could use that more to our advantage.
I'd like to get to it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can always use a refresher too.
Yeah, I think it's maybe we could do one that is all of us at the same time, and then we have a conversation afterwards.
I actually spoke to Chris.
Too.
He does, Peter and Chris Kingston have attended. He does offer that. Like, I'm sure more him offer as well. Like, come down and speak to the whole council.
Yeah.
A refresher.
Yeah. The thing is, it's not like we're not going to use Robert's rules because it is the rules. We use what works for us, right? Like we have to make it ours, right? We have to own it.
You still have to follow Robert's rules.
You still have to follow it, yes. But what I mean for that is like if you look at what we do here, we use a somewhat light version of it, right? We're not pulling all but there's like all the cards that are available, right? We have a more informal discussion sometimes. We intervene with, like, because our council is small too, I think it becomes easier to have this conversation. It flows well. It's we respect each other, have a good relationship. I think if you have a bigger council with denser relationships, these rules become more important and they become crucial. But yeah, I think there's probably space for us to kind of discuss if there are any things that we would like to include or exclude that would make our meetings more effective. Always good to optimize, right? At the same time, unfortunately, I couldn't attend to this, but it was a PVSC meeting with the community in Freeport. So they went all the way there to explain how they do assessments and all that, and I thought it was a great initiative of the Freeport.
You guys think you have a tough job. Imagine being that PVSC person that had to meet with.
Yeah. No, yeah, good that they went there, right? Like, maybe they didn't know what they were getting into, but if you will remember, Freeport was the community that had the discussion around perhaps dissolving the village because of the tax burden and that. So because I couldn't attend, I asked them, say, if you discover anything that you would like to get the PDSC to change, say, the way they assess the properties there, let me know, we can help with the, like representing this through the council. That I haven't heard anything since. But this was, I think, was a healthy initiative on their part. I also attended I actually didn't attend in person, my wife attended and debriefed to take my son to the hospital, but the Sedikov Conservancy organized a meeting with the fishermen to discuss the salmon cages in the area. And what I have been like, this is an ongoing topic, and I have been talking with people about this. And I think we should we should adopt a stance here where we're not positioning ourselves either against or for, but we should be requiring a seat at the table. I think the whole problem we had the conversation earlier, Joe and I, and with Tyler as well, how we want development here. We want companies to feel that we are a business-friendly community. We want to create opportunity for everyone. But that has to come with that type of result, right? It's not some company coming here doing whatever they want to do and not giving to the community, right? In the case of the salmon cages, the general feeling is that they're getting carte blanche to come here do something that affects the community negatively, but they're not really to leave anything positive to the community.
Well, first of all, it's a province decision.
Yes.
We have nothing to say about agriculture. The second thing is, the agriculture are under all sorts of rules and regulations from the province. I mean, I'm sorry, I disagree with everything being affected negatively, because it's not. We have salmon cages out here in my district. They've been there for 30 years. 30, yeah, right around 30 years.
Coach gives back to the community.
And
They're one
yeah,
of our-
Cook's done.
They're one of our biggest
Yeah, no, but it's not
worth
getting a few bucks for your fire department, a couple jobs here and there that they automate a few years
But
down
no.
the line. No, that's not that's not.
Peter, it's
It has to be a
thousands and
bigger
thousands and thousands of dollars a month down at the Digby port that's keeping that port alive. We're volunteer.
Okay, because they're using the port. So they
Exactly,
have to
that's
contribute
what I
to the
mean.
port, which is great. Yeah,
Bring it
they're using the infrastructure and they're justifying investment in infrastructure. But what I'm saying here is that they come with a promise of jobs, further development, new facilities and everything. And we have to hold them accountable for that.
We are. In the sense of, I ask questions. I am in contact with agriculture quite often. And I will tell you right now, what's been held back has been regulations from the province. Here, well, the whole province, they have held back right now on some stuff. And that's why we don't see our facility down here yet in Centerville.
You can't dictate what a private business can do for employment. I mean, the Pines is supposed to employ 1,000 people,
Yes.
but they don't. I bet you there's
but the Pines is good looking, right? You look at the Pines is not throwing shit in the water. It's not throwing antibiotics in the water. It's not throwing. I don't want to get a discussion of this. Of course they are. Come on.
Well, I'm going to say it again. Agriculture is not us. It's the province. I don't think we need to do a lot of discussion, whether I agree, you disagree, I disagree, or anybody else. It's just not us. Agriculture is the province. And if the villages or the people have concerns, then we can write a letter that they'd like to see something coming into the community. But I can tell you right now, Cooks does a lot of stuff. They help with the food bank. They put money into the festivals. It's not like
but
they
let's say
are a good corporate
tomorrow
citizen.
They say, you know what, I don't have money anymore to give to any of them. Can their cages still operate? Of course they can. They do this because they're buying some help from the community. No. But what I'm saying is we need to sit at the table because although aquaculture is the province, the tourism industry is the municipality. The property values are the municipality.
It's stolen. We have no say, and we would be told very
We don't,
quickly,
but we should. We don't, but we should.
I don't want to. That's an environmental thing. That is business thing.
No, that's not just environmental. That's the lifestyle of the community. That's the well-being of the community.
Yeah.
All
I'm saying is, Peter, there's some things a municipality doesn't get into. We do not want to get into like not gravel pits, but what's bigger than a gravel pit?
Quarries.
The quarries. Again, we have no say in them. It's above our mandate.
Yeah.
We can't handle something we don't.
As a council, you can go listen to them. It's not up to us to decide what the province is going to bring down. I mean, I've sat on a lot of these, and it's the same people that don't want it in their area. I get that, but I mean, I also look at the aquaculture industry here in town. I live beside it too, and I don't see a problem with it. I have not. And
so let me flip that question for you. Like, why wouldn't you want to have an opinion on that? Why wouldn't
I do have
you
an opinion. I think it's great.
the project towards the benefit of
and I've already made and I've said that to the public. I've made speeches on it, and every time they come here, I tell them I want agriculture here. I'm open to it.
Yeah, but I don't mean that we want to just speak. We want to have a seat at the table. We want to have a vote. We want to have commitment.
I haven't. I don't need. It's not my mandate to have that vote, but I'm telling you my opinion. As a council, my opinion is agriculture is fine as long as it's run environmentally safe, which it has since after the 2000s.
Yeah, but there are other concerns that you're not addressing here. Like, what about property values? You buy a property by the water, and then suddenly there's a cage there right in front of your house.
It's been there for years, and it has to go through all the lines.
Yeah. Nobody owns the water. Nobody owns the water. I mean, there were herring cages there for years.
Why not buy a property on the seaside and pay for that water view? That's what I mean. What I'm saying is, anything you do has positive and negative impacts. The thing is to whom those impacts go to. In the case of agriculture, the negative impact goes mostly to the community, and the positive impact is shared between the community and the shareholders. Most of the positive impact goes to the shareholders, very little of that positive impact goes to the community. What I'm saying is we have to have commitment from the operators of this, of agriculture, to leave more of that positive impact into the community, and I see no reason why we shouldn't advocate for that. This is not
I'm sorry.
driving them away. This is, you can come, but you have to
Then
come
we,
fairly.
but then we need to do that to every business that's
To
here.
every business, yes.
So if I started going behind us and saying to them, we want you to give more to the community, we want you to do this, how long before do you think we're gonna be in problems?
Well, that's it. So
You
how much
cannot do that.
does Bay Ferries have to give? Because there's
And it's in
people
every
living there.
household.
How many people lived on Shore Road that got that beautiful view of the gut in 1960, but they don't have it now because there's a ferry there? How much does Bay Ferries pay for that?
How much people do complain about Bay Ferries?
I would imagine in
Would you
1975.
get this?
There was a lot. When that
If this
came
all
in,
here had
there
more
was a lot.
space, we would have more people complaining about the salmon cages. I don't think we would have the same turnout for Bay Ferries. And if you had
You would, I
that
don't
same
think you get
turnout,
any
it's our duty to want to sit at the table.
That's yours. I'm telling you, it's not our mandate that we cannot go to businesses and tell them how they're gonna spend their money, and we cannot tell anybody. So do we go to every fisherman and say, you fish out of here, you fish out of the islands, how much money are you gonna give back to the community? And we wanna know now.
They do, because these fishermen are our community. Digby.
No. How much are they gonna give back? Just because they live there does not mean they're giving back to the community.
They're not going to destroy the community because they have a stake in the community, contrary to the.
I disagree with you.
Yes,
I've seen
okay.
fishermen and how they can act. I come from a family of fishermen
Yeah, I know.
for 5 generations.
I think we're just getting too much in the weeds here. I think
Yeah.
it's, if you want to be in on those groups, that's fine. But I'm just letting you know that it's not a municipal thing. And it's been stated many times that we just have to leave it at that. If you want to, as a counselor, advocate for them, that's fine. But it lays on the province hand. And
That's, yeah.
And I'll continue to do that, but I think the council cannot take that passive stance towards something that is highly important to the community in multiple dimensions. Properties, well-being,
Well, yeah,
enjoyment,
over here
tourism industry.
where the ferry is and where our cages are, I have no complaints from any of those people along there.
It's not up
Because
to
if
me
there's
or you to
if
have
there's a
complaints
complaint,
about,
they
it's
tell me.
about the residents.
Nobody
it's
has
about what people.
complained about property values being
Great.
devalued.
If they don't have a problem there, it's
They
fine.
don't?
They can put all the cages they want there. There are some areas where people worry about them and they don't want them.
Well, you know what? Then they should have gone through the province when it was happening.
No, they
I'm
did.
sorry.
They did.
And as long as the people are, as long as the businesses are applying and following the rules, following the regulations, because they have a lot of regs, and if they don't follow, they're fined, they can be taken out. I can tell you, Cooks went down there and cleaned up a mess from years ago from somebody else's salmon cages. They were blaming Cooks, nothing to do with Cooks. And I know that for a fact because the minister was there at the time, thanking them for cleaning up a mess that wasn't even theirs. So, I think, I appreciate what you're saying, but it's not a municipal mandate.
Right. Sorry. With that said, last thing for the report for today is the meeting today with Minister Glassman, tour of emergency facilities. It's a good opportunity to see what's the province is thinking about that. Share some feedback and just productive time with them.
Thank you. John?
I continue to attend all the regular meetings as scheduled. I did miss the Bear River Fire Department practice because I was away, but I did send regrets for that. I work the Smithscrow Fire Department as well as attending all the Thursday coffee times, and I've done 3 of the community kitchens in the past month, and as usual, make soup for one of the weeks. Community kitchen kitchen is closing. Today was the last day for I think about 5 weeks. They're closed for the month.
Oh, I thought that
No, they're closed for the month of July, starting back up the 4th of August, and really it was just, I think, to give everybody a bit of a break, and they have a lot of other things happening during that period. The night markets in Bear River have started up again, and they're bi-weekly on Wednesday nights, so tomorrow night, the 24th, is the next one, and then every second week. I have responded to many questions from constituents, it seems, in the past month and redirected many of them to the correct sources and contact information as appropriate. Present at the municipality booth at the home show. My sense was fewer booths and less activity, but there was interest in what we were doing and some good conversations by the people that stopped by. Employment, employee retention, tourism, GDP values, residences, places in tourism as a contribution, a lot of various private investment kind of things as well. I met with Joe Balser and Minister Dave Ritchie in Bear River, and that was to do with the artisans and the closures of the libraries and that sort of thing. And there were many concerns raised at that meeting about the cuts to the arts grants and programs as well as the libraries. Their points were very well presented, and it was clear that the residents felt very much the lifeblood of the rural communities is in their arts and culture programs. The youth have no access to many of the services and activities that are available in larger urban and suburban areas, and they felt that with that lack of access, they were missing out on a lot of things. Also, many of the residents pointed out that it was the fact that it was an artisan community that drew many of them to Bear River area, and it's what draws tourists to that area as well. It was interesting, there had been no previous consultation in the area, and the minister pointed out that in fact he had never been to the area and had absolutely no appreciation for what the area was or represented, and he would be back, whether he will or not, who knows. I also attended the FCM meetings in Edmonton and had the opportunity to network with councillors and vendors from all over the country. I did a study tour of the Indigenous Peoples Project in Fort Edmonton Park, as well as a tour of the City Hall. It's interesting because, I mean, problems are the same everywhere, just in varying degrees, and we all deal with them as we can with the resources and that we have. But it was also interesting to realize that the definition of rural varies very much depending on where you're from.
100,000 people within that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's, I guess, probably it in a nutshell.
Okay. Go ahead.
I spoke, excuse me, my throat's dry. I spoke at Rob Hersey's retirement party and presented him with a gift and a municipal plaque. I wished him well in his future endeavors. Many friends, staff, and family had attended. I attended the annual Richard Ellis Golf Tournament to raise money for the Digby Area Health Foundation. Had lots of laughs. I put it well, but my long game was really bad, so I can work on that. Gary Lehman was this year's celebrity. He won the Stanley Cup with the Montreal Canadiens in 1993.
That's not important.
I wanted to say this to the CAO. He was drafted and played with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he said, I'll quote, I learned the fundamentals of hockey playing with the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I learned how to be a champion playing for the Habs.
There's no way
Quote.
he did not.
He did. He said that at the Pines. He spoke.
You're on camera.
I know.
So don't tell us.
Yeah,
You
wasn't
didn't
lying.
say that.
We held our first Highway 101 task force meeting yesterday with the municipal units, MLAs Joe Balzer and Ryan Robichaux, and NP Christy Launchemont took time from his vacation to attend. Meeting went well. All units brainstormed some first step ideas, and we'll meet again in the fall. I spoke briefly with NP Christy Launchemont about some local issues after the meeting. Today, I spent most of the day with MLA Kim Masden, Minister of Emergency Management and Natural Resources. We met with fire chiefs in our area, toured the Digby Airport, sat down with her to discuss the future of services in the area. She did a really good job. Glad she listened to the chiefs. They had a chance to brainstorm some ideas. We know the issues, and she took a lot of time to visit the Brighton Park Fire Hall and the Digby Fire Hall to the airport. I then attended the Western Regional Enterprise Network at the Center of Excellence and delivered a speech as a member of the Liaison Oversight Committee. And I've also taken this month a lot of calls and emails from constituents about policing, garbage, roads, and taxes. It's been a busy month.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, with me, I attended the public meeting at the Digby Harbor Port Association. There's not a lot of people there, but always good to hear information. I attended the spring fling on Saturday and Sunday. I would like to say how much I appreciated Taylor's setting up and taking down. Joan has some great ideas. Peter had some great ideas on how we can improve for next year. And it's strange when you start listening to people in that kind of venue, because it's their perspective of what we can do and what we can't do is totally different.
Yeah.
But there was, I really liked the opportunity to explain a few things, and I thought it was well done. Thank you, Taylor, for setting up and taking down. I had Joan attend the meeting of the Minister of Tourism because I ended up at Yarmouth Hospital, not for work. I attended the FCM conference, and I really liked the conference. There's always a but we had our NDP leader there. We had Ms. May there. We did not have our Prime Minister or the Conservative leader there. And I really feel that they should be attending. And
That was used to.
yeah, I mean, whether we like Justin or didn't like Justin, he was there every one.
Yeah.
Polyev has never been to one.
Yeah.
Never in all the years
Yeah.
that he's been, which personally annoys me. There was some interesting workshops. Again, it was according to how we're rolling when you went to some. But I found personally, it was it was one of the better conferences I've been to. And I certainly enjoyed it. Joan and I happened to go on the same study tour. And the gentleman that spoke was so good, talking. And I think we see Aboriginal people differently than the West. I've always seen an Aboriginal as an equal. And you can tell from there that's never been. They felt as equals. But again, different parts of the country. And it was a great learning experience. The one thing they did hold back while we were there, 300 kids arrived, and they wouldn't let them come in where we were until we were finished, which I was so appreciative of. Because there was 300 kids outside when you went. But yeah, on the whole, I felt it was a very good conference. I have some things that came in that I'm going to send out to everybody so that they can have the opportunity.
I think I've got a few emails already.
Yeah,
The word legendary, you gave me your name.
yeah. Well, you should see the emails I got that I'm going to send on to you and Chris. Like I said, I thought it was well done. I also attended the 101 meeting. which I think went really well. It was a good turnout of wardens and CAOs, mayors and CAOs. And I was so pleased that Chris came in on his vacation day. And of course, what did I say? Oh, we're going to now meet at 3:00? No. But it would have been great. But I mean, we'd already been told no. So he wants it done. We have a meeting before he goes back in session, and he gave us the date.
Oh, that's in September.
Yeah, he said it has to be done before September, at that date in September. And again, I was only available for just under 2 hours today, and I got to sit here and talk to some people while they were waiting, because it doesn't matter. But I was pleased that she was listening, and you know, our concerns are going to be looked at, whether they can be addressed or not is another thing. And besides that, I've attended all my regular meetings and went to some other public things. I attended the tea down in Weymouth, the first tea I think it was, and it was for the window for the Anglican Church here in Digby. So that was really nice, and they're going to have them on Thursday afternoons. Free will offering. It's nice if anyone can get to go, because it's the different organizations through the municipality that are raising money. Saying that, that is it. So the next thing we want to do is we have an in-camera. We have a personnel contractual.
Motion to go in camera for personnel and contractual.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Not to remind it. Is everybody